Who can shoot it from the outside.
And Bill, that's great for Wisconsin. Decker getting going from outside. He's really a slasher. Now you got to come out and guard him. He gets to the paint, makes things happen for the Badgers.
Kaminsky trying to D up here on Towns, who is almost on a course.
He actually kisses it below the rim, and it goes up and in. It's an amazing delivery, but great footsteps. What a big guy. Horn set to a high-low.
Bounce past Towns. Oh, Kaminsky trying to back out. Inside of two.
Really.
And that's a little kiss on the way up.
A little smooch.
A little smooch.
In downtown Indy.
Towns. This is his shot.
Too deep.
Oh, taken away. Ulis.
Nice pass.
Beautiful passing by the wall. Aaron.
Too big.
And somehow it doesn't fall. Put back. No. Towns again. Yes. Kaminsky had that open look from the corner. The three would have given them a 7-point lead. Now the Cats.
We haven't seen much from Towns for Kentucky.
Can tie it here. And they do with Towns.
Nicely.
Now Andrew Harrison back in the rim.
Again.
Yeah, this is going to be now the third chance.
And a great job by Towns.
Both times.
Got to stick him out a little further.
Kentucky's taking a page out of Wisconsin's book in the first half with all these offensive rebounds.
This is what I was waiting for, Grant. Let him go to town with that little hook.
There it is.
Or jumper.
Jumper this time.
To shoot it. And that time, Notre Dame didn't even have to face the half-court defense.
Ulis looking inside. Karl Anthony. Towns, it goes and one. Connaughton is a deadly three-point shooter, but he's also a great rebounder. Has 4 tonight as Grant misses wide right.
It's a little bit bad judgment by Grant that time, trying to take Paul's time and shoot over him.
Up and down into Towns. Little spin and very deep.
Yeah, I think we got to still find some spots to score, but I love how we're battling. Right where we want to be.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
And isn't it interesting? And I believe Mike Bray when he says he loves where they're at. I'm not sure I'm in with Coach Calipari when he says he's okay with where they're at.
No, I think Coach Calipari kind of showed his hand by saying we're not nervous. If you're not nervous, you don't need to say so. And these guys went in with an adjustment, and one of their adjustments was going.
Ulis checks Grant, kicks it to the corner. That's Vastoria. Too strong. That was a good look for Notre Dame, but Vastoria got a little too much on it that time. Dumping it down inside. Here's Towns. Plowing his way in. Little jump hook. Zach August with 12 points.
Marvel at the patience and the persistence of that Notre Dame offense.
August has missed just once. He's 6 out of 7. He's had a number of highlight reel dunks and a strong finish at the rim there for his 12 points. Back inside they go. Trying to get August fouled, and it's just too easy in there.
Entitled to it.
I just wanted to make sure the player wasn't injured. That's why the stoppage of play. Kentucky ball, down 4. Jumped out to a quick 5-point lead early in this second half.
Great denial by Grant right there. Didn't let Harrison get the ball. The play was called for Harrison up top.
Towns back in, going strong. Boy, that just looks unstoppable.
In the tournament, at 100 in this league, and you look at it, that's why Towns says, wait a minute, I can score against the best. Let me go again against the worst.
And went right to August with the left hand. Vastoria with 13 points.
That'll show you what a change of pace can do. You know, he went kind of easy, then all of a sudden a quick move caught the defense off balance.
Back into Towns they go. Other side of the block this time. Man, Towns, the second free throw miss for Notre Dame. 1 out of 2 for Grant. Notre Dame's in the bonus, by the way. 4-point Notre Dame lead. Kentucky trying to answer here. Back to the big man. Towns. Rough it up. August, a foul. It counts.
Big beast inside Towns, who's been just going to work on that post.
Towns has 23 points. 15 in the second half. Ulis dumps it down to him. And Towns right at the basket.
How long they are outside with Lyles coming out. Watch for them. Yeah, this is what they're going to start to do, just pop it into the paint.
Got the roll.
That shot blocking.
And at the other end, rejected, but then put back.
Personality.
And they won that game the other night. 297 Texas came in on his
That's
phone.
right.
That was fabulous when he was talking about that yesterday. His phone almost blew up.
Towns.
Vernon, they haven't backed down, which is good.
Jumper off the front rim. Rebound. Karl Stein.
Let them get into a running game.
Ulis crossover.
But they have the size at each position. Here it's glaring because of Hampton's lack of size versus Kentucky, but guards are big. Pretty. Yeah, just not a whole lot. At that number, Vernon, he's got a good form, good release, rotation is pretty good. And here's that. Let's see, is it back to a man-to-man for a little bit? That's where you're going to have a little bit of problems because of players like Towns, who is just too overpowering. With the left hand, to make sure he's going to get an action call on the floor. Oh boy, look at that.
That was Trey Lyles with the block. And one.
Play just over an hour bus ride away from our home court. I would pick that any day. And with the way that Big Blue Nation travels, yesterday we saw it at practice. There was 10,000 fans in attendance just for practice alone. This place was filled with blue, even in the first session today. So it certainly does feel like.
Ulis. And one.
December 1st. I had to stop it because I was afraid we might have a fight. Now, I guess when you're as deep as Kentucky, really each player has only played half a season, right? So they have lots of energy to burn in practice still.
Very good point.
Yeah, it sure is, Allie. A lot of legs. And there's some right there going. This one has 10 rebounds.
Towns puts it back, rolls around, and drops through.
3P yesterday, didn't waste any time. Right now he's matched with Willie Cauley-Stein. If I'm Willie Cauley-Stein, I take him on the interior. I try to post him.
Tied for the fourth time here in the half on the three-pointer by Qualls.
Look at the size differential. I know he's a high riser, Qualls, but that's a lot of size.
He's given away about 6 inches to Cauley-Stein. A switch off now, and it's Antoine Bell trying to guard Cauley-Stein.
That's like you trying to guard him.
Nice move. Back to 15. Qualls will try to quiet the crowd. Not this time.
Here comes the Towns. Here comes Big Blue Nation. You better get Portis back on that floor.
Yeah, he's waiting at the scorer's table, but we need a whistle first.
How quickly you play them tough, and all of a sudden they spurt.
Yep.
Bam, offensive rebound, jump shot, and before you know it, you're looking 15 down.
Lyles. Ulis, great entry pass to Towns. Up and in.
Here, Brent will be the biggest, most dominant player.
Big Blue Nation might as well stand for the rest of the game. Cauley-Stein spins baseline, trying to get around Murphy. Threw up kind of a weak hook, but two freshmen. Fourth shot over Horford. Follow there is good. Way of that.
5 quick points for the Florida Gators.
Towns, whoa! That was an elbow.
By Tyler Ulis. He doesn't make many mistakes like that.
Halfway through the second half, 48-42 Kentucky. Cauley-Stein, one dribble, one lob, one score.
Stay connected on the back line.
They get the entry to Cauley-Stein. Kind of threw that hook shot. Towns with a follow and one.
Advantage on Murphy. Fake. Left hand, no. Towns. It was tipped by Walker. Towns sticks with it and banks it in. Karl Anthony. the swamp in which Florida missed some free throws down there, missed a free throw here. They've had some empty possessions. Heck, they kicked away a first-half lead. They outplayed the Wildcats. Let's see if they can take advantage of the Wildcats kind of sleepwalking at times.
Kentucky with the basketball to open up. Towns to the hole. Karl for Finney-Smith. Drives in, spins, and denied once again. It's Towns. Harrison on a kick to his brother Aaron. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Towns gets a touch out high. Turns with the left hand. He's special. Hill, step back jumper. No. Long rebound to the shortest man on the floor, Ulis. Towns down the middle.
But it's Kentucky ball. Those things are only reviewed in the last 2 minutes. Towns, hook shot's good. Well, you let him get paint under his feet and get that deep. He has now. Well, just a little ball screen and the floor opened up wide for J.J. Frazier. Nobody came over to block or challenge that shot. Towns really threw his shoulder in. It scores in close. You get that. That's only his second field goal of the night, but it brought the house down and it brought a timeout from Kentucky. Georgia sticking with that zone. Good job. A good move. Good job to get the ball inside. You know, Booker had a shot out of that corner. The corners of the big guys and then drop it off. Harrison had a moment. Forte got out on him. And now the hook shot goes by Towns again. That's his move in the lane. And that 11 in a row is one of the most remarkable streaks in the history of college basketball. Nice follow off the miss of Lee by Karl Anthony Towns. The post. They have spread the floor. They're getting into side pick and roll action. And Georgia is getting into the lane almost at will. That's 36 points in the paint for the Bulldogs. Here's Towns, and he has been the man in the second half with moves like that. Towns shot clock. Towns got his man in the air, goes inside, doesn't get it, but the second try is good. Well, how about that with inside here? Georgia's going man-to-man now. And that's with Mayton on Towns. Freshman on freshman. Ulis leaves it for Towns. Oh, just a beautiful play.
It's important to score and ring the bell so they can set up their defense. Too easy. They got to plug it up, and inside they go with Karl. Goes right inside into Lyles, and look at the white jerseys around him, and Willie Cauley-Stein comes out of the fray. Oh, tough to challenge him that close to the rim. They got their trap going now. Cauley-Stein the other way. Nice look. Devin Booker, and up high he goes with a two-handed fling. Mentioned before, the Kentucky has led since the get-go. They've had 11 games this season without a deficit. This will be number 12. Arkansas sticking in there. You just never know. Arkansas has beaten this Kentucky team 4 of the last 5 times in 3 consecutive games. They still have 2-3. It's got a little wrinkle of 1-1-3. They do have a 1-3-1 they show as well. Forcing Towns to make plays here. Look at him just shoulder his way in.
They didn't have school today, and they have been fired up since we walked in at 4:30.
Here's Towns working on Gavin Ware. Just backed him all the way to the rim.
Smith blocked the ball up by the rim.
Sword misfires for the first time at the line. Now with 9 points.
Nice pass. Beautiful.
And Towns finishes on the other end. For that year with a great Bulldog club, there were 9 NBA players on that group from Kentucky.
Yeah, I was talking to him before the game. We were talking and comparing teams, and it's hard to compare nowadays with all the one-and-dones and the different, wow, what another good play, another good lob pass. But he said the nation, Tyler Ulis, another one of the great Chicago players out of Marian Catholic that Kentucky has had, started with Antoine Walker. Great article by Teddy Greenstein in the Chicago Tribune.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Lyles trying to post up Mason on the game's first set. Calipari drew it up. Lyles couldn't finish. Towns with the offensive rebound putback. He has a tendency, Sean, to struggle against length sometimes. So, formidable task today for Bowers against those Kentucky bigs. Here's Paulie Stein out to Harrison.
I think he's going to really struggle to score when he has the ball in a post-up situation or even catching it right off the paint. But where he can dominate, and Simeon Bowers has got to be active, is getting on the offensive glass and trying to get putbacks.
Towns on the post-up. The jump hook is good. Money. A slump.
That's what we call a slump.
And for the first time tonight, on a field goal attempt, the ball actually went through the hoop for the Tigers. Ranger with that last bucket. Inside, Towns. Boy, I think I heard some.
That is a big-time positive overall for Kentucky, and we haven't had many of those sequences in the second half. I mean, the second half has been more dictated by Auburn's play.
Has nice two-man game. Towns and one.
We need to talk a little bit more. He's one is turn a face and showcase his ability to hit the mid-range jump shot. And then Coach Cal said, you know what, you need to dominate from 5 feet in. Can you dominate from 5 feet in, and then you can start to move out. But that's where you've got to dominate the basketball game, as you see right there. You're getting right into that he can bring.
Ulis with a pull-up. Towns underneath with the stick back.
And then if I give up a lane, if I give up an angle, somebody's going to be over the help side and rotate over. That's what has made Kentucky's defense so elite this year. That trust and the belief that their teammates got their back if they make a mistake.
There's Towns with that face-up jump shot, knocks it down.
Pat Riley and Larry Conley, those guys, they started 23-0 on a season. Good offensive rebound. That's the last thing you want to happen on a missed free throw.
And Derrick Rose with the test score.
Karl Anthony Towns wins the tip over Hotkevicius. Mark Whitehead, Terry Morrow, Landis Poole, our officiating crew. And the Wildcats off that 2-point win at LSU on Tuesday night. The Tigers got up early in that game. Kentucky had a 13-point lead. That Karl Anthony Towns technical foul, and then the Wildcats storm back. And Karl Anthony Towns off to a dynamite. The NIT was back in 2009. And Frank Martin just trying to build. Paul Biancardi texted you and I both and said he's got a nice recruiting class coming in this year. He's getting his guys into the mix now, so things looking up in Columbia. Karl Anthony Towns has all 6.
So Kansas State replaced Bob Huggins.
Yep. Another offensive rebound. Booker in the lane. Towns is there to follow in.
Maybe two jump on the glass.
Yep.
Jones has got this play starting to move in a positive way. Where do you see the recruits coming in next year? Paul Biancardi told me they're number 7 in the nation.
Yeah, the Simmons kid is huge, considered number 1.
Took it against the big guys on the inside, right to the goal.
Approaching the midway point of the half. LSU still up by 3.
They're zoning right now. Came out, went to the zone.
Boy, that's a nice move as well.
The rim has a protector.
Booker pull up. Had to go high over Martin. It was too high, but it's kept alive. Offensive board. Towns. And Towns is taking over on the inside.
Pistol Pete. I looked at his numbers today coming over here. Average 44.2 for his career. Average without the three-point shot.
All coming up Saturday on ESPN. But will they be undefeated? Or will they be 23-1? We're going to find out in 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
That Gray really playing defense on the basketball. Hornsby playing a lot of tenacity.
Towns asking for it against Martin.
Try to double him up inside.
And Martin forces him to kick it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Aaron Harrison and Andrew Harrison in the backcourt. This is Andrew.
They're going to look for Booker who can make shots.
Towns is going to have to take a long shot. And go!
Oh, how... And getting in a winner's circle. Can it continue tonight?
They left it at 34 on the shot clock with a minute 40 on the game clock. 1-point game, LSU with the lead.
I'd go to Karl Anthony Towns inside. I would go to him inside. Get him the ball right there. Get the ball inside to the big guy.
And the hook shot's good. Has shown that the defensive end's impressive.
Well, they've come out ready for a fist fight, and that's what they have to make this game in order to win it. It's got to be 5-on-5 in the half court and a fight.
And there's the jump hook for Karl. Ulis tries to throw a lob to Towns. And Towns over a double team. Towns, they kick it right back out. Booker, short. And now a fresh 35 after the deflection for Kentucky. Booker's got a lot of game. Comes off screens. He can hit a mid-range shot. He's got tremendous range. He's really improved as a defender.
Towns from the baseline. Yes.
He really, and he was ready to shoot as he caught it. Both he and Michael Frazier have got to lead this team in scoring. Eli Carter can get into the act as well, but it's pretty clear that if Florida's going to put points on the board, it's got to be Dorian Finney-Smith as a right-hand driver and Michael Frazier have to do it.
Ulis finds Karl Stein off to Towns, who lays it in.
I still think he needs to go up and finish that. He needs to be a more aggressive basketball player on the offensive end.
Kentucky has led for only 20 seconds in this game. Kurtz discarded by Towns. Kurtz giving up just a ton of size in that matchup. Towns will not take it. Now he will, and he'll knock it down to put the Cats on top. Twins, Towns, and Karl Stein for Kentucky.
Right now, it's got to look inside the Towns or Aaron Harrison. Those are the two places where Kentucky's best scoring.
Or over the top to Towns.
Kentucky and good defense by Georgia. Here's a baseline jumper for three. Too strong. Karl Stein in the right spot. Now it's Towns with a hook shot. Got it.
Ball movement, though, has been really good from the outside.
Towns, nice shot in the paint. Jurisic, nice move. Couldn't get it around those long arms of Karl Stein on a hook shot. And Ulis running the other way. Towns takes that big body in and scores. For position down there, though. He's drawn some double teams. He's had some pretty good moves underneath. Couldn't finish that one.
Needs someone else to help him out, though. He's had a good first half.
Nice hook.
Joe Lunardi's recent bracketology has six teams in out of the SEC.
I mentioned earlier, when we get together Saturday, it's going to be halfway through the conference season, or it's going to be football tomorrow. ESPNU's got 11 hours of coverage starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We've got reporters all over the place. Some of the top players will make their announcements. You don't want to miss it. Starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
The second 20 minutes, only 1 second chance point for Kentucky.
Left hand again. What a move.
Had to work hard, but they got it to go down. Back the other way for Kentucky. We talk about their defense, but they're scoring 74 points a game. A lot of teams try to slow it down against the Cats, so that's a pretty impressive number considering how teams play them. Towns spins and gets it to go. Karl, 6th season in Tuscaloosa. Towns spins and fires. If they could get Kessens going, he's got some physical tools. Speaking of physical tools that are impressive, picks up his second is Willie Cauley-Stein. He's coming off back-to-back games where he just took one shot in each of those games. Towns, though, with his 4th shot, and he's perfect. Season for Kim Anderson. Gil Caesar lost it, though. 3rd turnover by the Tigers. Kentucky with a size advantage, although you can say that in just about every game that Kentucky plays. They're the biggest team in the country by far. Towns rolling into the ring. Now he posts up. Against that big body of D'Angelo Allen. A lot of contact there, but in the first 9 minutes of this game between the two teams. Back to the post. They leave post in with 2 personal fouls, and Towns able to slip between defenders. So Missouri, that's probably a small victory for them, considering they're not losing that battle. Right?
It really is. And I think they've seen some things that they've been successful with, and for Kentucky, it's an opportunity to go inside the locker room and say, okay, we've got to be much more efficient at scoring inside the paint. Too many missed opportunities, too many missed shots around the basket.
Andrew Harrison with 6. Towns against Washburn, flipped it up and got the roll to close the first half. Karl Anthony Towns.
Now a little full court pressure by South Carolina.
They're going to play aggressive attack, not be intimidated.
Stein with the alley-oop and the punch home by Towns.
I know last year went to the last second against Connecticut, but this is a deeper team, more talented team. Their bench competition is unbelievable what they can bring in to compete with the starters.
Towns with the jump hook inside. Money.
He's at 11-6, 1-3 in conference play. Dave Neal alongside former South Carolina coach Darren Horn and Kaylee Hartung on the sidelines here in Lexington, Kentucky. Glad you could join us. After Georgia took care of business at home against Ole Miss, we'll see what Kentucky has in store here at home against these Doors. Here's Willie Cauley-Stein. Harrison. Nice pass inside to Towns. He gets the first basket.
Hale going to try another 3. That one's strong. Rebounded by Cauley-Stein. Aaron Harrison pulls it out. Inside to Towns. Wheels and punches it home around. Got it. Down to 11. And the crowd getting back in this game. Booker, nice feed, Towns. Great hands by the big man.
Aaron Harrison feeds the post to Cauley-Stein. He'll kick it back out. Here's Hawkins in and out on a 3. And loose ball picked up by Harrison. Reverse layup won't go. Third chance for Kentucky, and that's an easy one.
That shot so.
John Butchergross, Seth Greenberg were here for the halftime of the first game. They'll be here at halftime of our game. Booch and Robert Flores will be here after the game on SportsCenter. And Dick Vitale will keep them around too. Nice move off the glass, pretty. Inside with a left hand, Cauley-Stein has it come out, but the stick back is good and a chance for a 3-point play.
And that's had a real tough go of it at Alabama. Tell you what, folks, keep an eye on Anthony Grant's team. The Alabama Crimson Tide, I think, can make some noise this season.
They go inside, but look at the white jerseys all hockey defense and a 2-on-1 the Harrisons. Andrew from Aaron Harrison, and the tap in on the follow.
And Ole Miss hasn't had much success here in Rupp Arena. Only one win in Rupp. That came in 1998. Kentucky with the basketball first. Towns, strong move inside. First basket goes to the Wildcats. Loose balls, it got 7 foot. Get on the floor. Out of the corner, they leave Karl Anthony to Kentucky. It's like a one-and-done night to this point for Ole Miss on the offensive end. Boy, that is a big-time move.
See how the Harrisons and Tyler Eulis handle it. Nice look inside for Towns. Follows up his own miss, and Kentucky's on the board.
Trying to back down Towns. And the help defender, Cauley-Stein, slaps it away. Towns with a full head of steam. Counted and a foul.
More pressure.
What a great fake. Terrific fake, and then turning sideline side by Devin Booker to get away from that double team.
Into Towns. Over Mathieu.
Has had, even though they've got a lot of sophomores and underclassmen, these guys have played so many big moments in big games. Trey Lyles. Steve Smart hits that baseline jumper to secure that national championship.
Nice save. Wow. Trey Lyles. Karl Anthony Towns on the low post. Falls for it, gives a little hip check. Back outside. There you are. Karl Anthony.
But Sean, you take out the dunks, it's only 43%. So Steve Frankowski hits his first from behind the arc. Towns kicks it back out.
Columbia doing an excellent job right now surrounding and swarming.
Baseline turnaround, pretty shot from defensively.
The length, the athleticism, the ability to block shots down low, and it was nowhere to be found on that drive.
They're working inside. That seems too Ray tonight. Harrison forced it up. Great defense. Kentucky able to save it.
Well, a number of opportunities prior to that break. They had 11 offensive rebounds. Now at 13. Only 4 points. 4 second chance points of a 13 offensive rebounds. You should average about a point per offensive rebound.
That'll help. And a corner three skips off. 0 for 2 from deep already for the Colonels.
And those threes are going to rebound long, so the guards have to come back and rebound.
2 Wildcats are there. It's picked up and thrown in. And second in the country in steals, and they hit their free throws.
Yeah, they play at an up-tempo, but they take care of the ball. That's so important if you're going to be a pressing team.
Harrison with the lob and the finish for Towns.
That could be. There's nothing to upset coaches more than anything when you don't follow the game plan.
It's not like you haven't heard it enough. I mean, you heard it yesterday in practice. You heard it again today in shoot-around. John Calipari is not happy to start this one. Here's the lob and the finish.
That's going to be there.
Daniel Norrell lost the basketball, taken away by Kentucky. Towns behind the back.
He's such a skilled big player.
To Towns, and the payoff in one. Wow. Can help underclassmen the most is learning how to deal and develop the relationship with your coach.
Relationship that makes Texas A&M, they're going to be right there with those teams competing.
It's a couple of big wins, as I mentioned earlier, for the SEC on the women's side today is South Carolina. Whoa! What a jam by Karl Anthony Towns. The press. Willie Cauley-Stein left it short, but there to pick it up was Towns.
Set, ready, and you have to have confidence when that ball leaves your hand, and you have to want to take that shot when the game is on the line. Most guys shy away from it, but the great players, they want to be the one to win the game. They want the accolade of winning.
Well, now they're unstoppable.
You have the most long-term upside in your opinion?
Yeah, I think he would. Trey Lyles has quite a bit as well, but I think Karl Anthony Towns is the best player.
He's got that too, and he's wide open. Passing it around, you got to get into the teeth of this defense. Good cut. Poitras couldn't finish, but Towns can.
Excited about this #1 ranked Wildcats team.
When you watch Kentucky, a lot of people looking for chinks in the armor. To me, it's about chasing greatness. The start they're off to, especially on the defensive end, Dave, has been outstanding.
And they look like the #1 team and then some for these first few weeks of the season. There's Towns, the ultra-talented freshman, wide open. The Wildcats head coach, and hard to beat here at Rupp.
Well, he really is, and they're going to be hard to beat everywhere this year. It's a juggernaut type of team. 9 McDonald's All-Americans, obviously.
You watch them play early, you watch them in practice, you just wonder who could beat these Wildcats. Towns again with the left hand scores his second.
Fundamentals the last couple of days. Watch the lob.
Tip up, no good. Can the Friars get a rebound? Not so far on this trip.
You know, that looked like the shot pass right there. I saw Poitras come out of the corner.
It did. Great look, Towns.
You're talking about a 7-1 defender, Willie Cauley-Stein, who moves his feet well.
The lob, Towns lays it in with the foul. It's not to take it. Swing it around to Harrison. Nice little move in the lane. Layup won't go. Towns put back.
This is over here.
Towns. So a jump hook goes down.
Gets it inside. Really, Cauley-Stein couldn't tell if he tried to purposely dump it down.
The team is showing against the zone. Good ball reversal. Good unselfishness.
Third steal by Kentucky.
Oh, my goodness.
Cauley-Stein back on the floor now. Towns bumped. Count it.
Karl Anthony Towns flies in and on top of Karl Anthony Towns. How about that? How about that at a time in the game? Shots down like that, and I'm sure that that's got to be one thing that Brian Fish can take away from this.
That is a confidence boost.
My goodness.
Everyone is guarding this man, seeing the ball.
Willis got himself a block. It's number 12 for Kentucky.
What a finish.
Allen Williams is their best player. But Oubre with this length and athleticism, they wanted to get a little more size in. That cannot happen for Kansas.
Down to 13 as we near the final 4 minutes. There are 3 freshmen in the game right now for Kansas. Mikhailuk, Alexander, but Oubre has returned with 2 fouls as well. The foot of Aaron Harrison, he regroups, finds his brother. Andrew off to Towns for the easy leg. ESPN with programs including North Carolina, Florida, and Wisconsin. Down there, left-handed little hook shot.
Possible to leave your feet. That you leave the floor. That your feet go with your feet go with you.
That's a good point.
I have never once in my life left my feet.
That would have been a first ever experience for you had you done that. Devin Booker. He said trouble knocking down shots in the early going this season. Hey, a little old school from Karl.
Harrison. Wild shot. Towns misses the follow. Gets his own miss. And there's a foul on the floor.
Okafor again. How about that? The Kentucky lead. And there is another Wildcat block. Number 9. Has got the task of checking Ulis. I believe that's what you were talking about right there.